All right, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Adult Children of Aging Parents, otherwise known as ACAP of Guilford County. We're happy for those of you that are joining us online, and also we have a great group in person today, so we're happy to have you here. Just a little bit about ACAP. We are a 501c3, and we are a nonprofit educational program. We provide information, resources, and support and community services for adults, children as they care for their aging parents and for themselves. We affirm joys of caring for aging parents. We provide strategies, resources to address unique challenges, impact community-based, community-led chapters, or vehicles for cost-free programs. As you all are here right now, we host this every single month on the third Thursday of each month here at Senior Resources of Guilford. And we have lunch at 5:30, and then our program starts promptly at 1. We're going to continue to live stream, and it will be uploaded to our YouTube station as well. So you can find all of that online. And Senior Resources of Guilford is located at 1401 Benjamin Parkway, and we would love to have you come in person and visit us one day. Our website is acapcommunity.org. There are several other counties in North Carolina that have this program, and they also do different topics. So if you look online, you can find a chapter. If you're not in Guilford County, then it could be somewhere close to another relative that may live in that county. So you can go in person. And we also have a Facebook page. So please like us on Facebook. We post, when our events are going to be. We have events. We share those, and just as a reminder to you when the meetings are and what the topics are going to be each month. So our next program, go ahead and put this on your calendar. Those of you that are here, we have a flyer in front of you. It's July 18th. And it's responding to challenging behaviors of Alzheimer's and other dementias. And this is a great topic for a lot of aging parents and a lot of behaviors that you have to deal with as caretakers of them. So, and our presenter is going to be Courtney Donahue, and she's with the Alzheimer's Association. So please join us for that. And we definitely want to say thank you to our sponsors today. We provide this as a free service to you, but we could not do it without our sponsors. And we want to thank Griswold Home Care, Bruce McReynolds, and he will be speaking later on today. But we are so happy and enjoy having him as a sponsor, and we can't thank him enough for that. Today's topic is something that is really just in the news, and it has been for a while. In the past decade, there have been so many advances in technology, and I think we can all agree on that, to help older adults to stay safe and engage with their families and community. While technology in the yesteryear was used primarily by the younger population, now there is increased use of technology among older adults. And I don't know about you all, but when COVID and the pandemic was happening, when we were not able to go anywhere, then we had to try to find ways to engage at home and to be able to keep our minds stimulated. So I feel like technology, especially with seniors, has come in the forefront during that time. It has become more of a commonplace, user-friendly, and reasonably priced. An emerging global health crisis brought a new host of new understandings, applications, opportunities, especially for the aging population. Biomedical devices, home automation, home computers, tablets, smartphones, and assistive technology all provide a new and ever-changing world that continues to offer opportunities and challenges relative to older population and their supports. So we have two wonderful speakers today, but I wanted to introduce you to our first speaker, Julie Silverman, and she is the Evergreens Lifestyle Senior Center Director. Julie holds a bachelor's and master's degree in social work with a concentration in public policy and community work. She continued her education at Duke University's nonprofit leadership certificate program. Julie has worked in the nonprofit field her entire career with organizations such as the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention and DC Learns, both in Washington, DC, and the Greater Greensboro United Way and the Servant Center of Greensboro. Julie's the director at Evergreens Lifestyle Center, named a Senior Center of Excellence by the NC Department of Health and Human Services, and she currently serves on the board for the Carolina Foundation of Jewish Seniors. So we are very happy to have Julie. Let's give her a hand.
Thank you. Hi everyone, I'm Julie. I'm glad to be here with you today. I'm going to talk about something that is kind of scary to people. Is anyone here kind of scared of technology sometimes, or have family members that might be a little scared of technology? Yeah. Technology can be scary because it's constantly changing and it's constantly new. But there are still ways that you can use it in your homes or in your family's homes to help them remain engaged and connected. So we're going to talk about that a bit today. So the first thing, before we jump into talking about that, is I want to briefly talk about the Evergreens Lifestyle Center, which is the whole lower level of this building. I have a few over here who I know have been to the Senior Center before, but has anyone else been to the Evergreens Lifestyle Center? When we're done here, if you'd like to come take a tour, I'd be happy to show you around. It is the whole bottom floor. We have our own entrance, and we are a center for anyone 55 years and older. We are not a daycare program. We are geared towards independent older adults. And for us, what that means is we are not able to monitor the door, so it's not an appropriate place for people with memory loss unless they bring a caregiver with them. But you and your loved ones are very welcome to come in and to engage in activities. We have exercise classes, we have arts and crafts. Right now, we're actually having a luau downstairs with a virgin daiquiri bar, and just we're always doing something different down there. So please check us out. And I like to, oh, and it did not change the slide.
You do enter or the airboat.
Speaking of technology.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, we love technology.
Yes, we love technology.
Yes, it never works, does it? I mean, not when you want it to, no. When you need it to. Well, while Bruce is doing that, I've left a couple of things at your seats. The first is this. It's just a single sheet of paper, and it's a resource guide for everything that I'm going to tell you about today. So don't feel like as I go through here you need to take notes or anything like that. All of the resources I talk about are going to be on here for you. And then the second thing is this. This is our Active Living newsletter. It goes out every 2 months to about 2,000 people in the community. This one actually has not been mailed yet, so don't tell anyone you have it because it's secret. And I'm looking at you, Evangelist. But this kind of gives you an idea of everything that is going on in the Senior Center for the next few months. So, and here is the Evergreens Lifestyle Center. So you can see it is nice. It is a happy place. We do a lot of good things and fun things downstairs. So I don't want people to ever feel scared of the Senior Center. I know that when I started this work, I had an idea in my mind of what a Senior Center was. And it was old people sitting around playing bingo, right? Or doing a puzzle. And we are so active downstairs. So please come check us out. So remember, technology is going to be constantly changing and adapting, but you don't need to be afraid of it. What's great about everything I'm going to talk about today for you is that you can't break it. I mean, sure, if you throw it against the wall, it is going to break. But you're not going to press a button that is going to ruin anything with anything I'm going to show you today. And that's true for all technology. It's not something that you need to be afraid of using and learning. So just a few benefits. I'm going to talk a lot today about tools for connecting, and this could be you connecting with family, it could be your loved ones connecting with family or friends. Real-time interaction, so it does not have to be a recorded video they're watching. People can actually interact real-time with each other. You can explore hobbies and interests, and then what Bruce will be talking about is health and safety features. So I'm going to talk a little bit about basic tools. Now, you guys have probably all seen a smartphone and a Chromebook or a computer and a tablet, but I do want to just very briefly touch on them. Does anyone know the difference between a smartphone and a dumb phone?
A what phone?
A dumb phone. It's what they call phones that aren't smartphones now.
The ones that can access the internet versus not.
Right, so like a smartphone is basically a mini computer. You can do so many different things with it. You can have apps on it. There's a lot you can do. Versus the dumb phone, which is a phone. It's the phone we all used in the 90s, and they still have them around. They are very affordable. My iPhone, for example, is what?
Hundreds.
Thousands, right?
A mortgage.
Yeah, I mean, it's insane now versus a dumb phone, which can be $20, $30, $40. Dumb phones are also a lot more durable. So if you're someone that drops your phone a lot or your loved one is, it could be a good option for them. Smartphones, on the other hand, I feel a little bit more strongly about because they have features that can be really beneficial, such as tracking. I know that when my grandmother got a bit older and needed to be observed more, it was really helpful to be able to look on our computer and say, oh, she's at the dry cleaners. She's not answering her phone, but we know she's there and she's okay. So smartphones have those kinds of benefits that, for me, outweigh the cost. But of course, that's something that you have to decide for yourself. And then we have tablets. So we'll talk a bit about this, but downstairs in the Evergreens Lifestyle Center, we do have technology that you can borrow or come in and play with to figure out how to use. So I brought two different examples of tablets for you, just so you can see the size difference. So this is an iPad. It is a slightly older version, but you can see the size there. So if you or your loved one is someone that has low vision or has better experiences with bigger buttons, this is probably going to be a lot easier to manipulate versus their cell phone, right? Even the Android version, which is a lot smaller, is still much larger than your regular cell phone. So it's going to be much easier. So a lot of the things that you can do on a smartphone, actually everything basically, you can do on a tablet. So if a phone is no longer exactly what your loved one needs, then consider tablets. We really push Chromebooks in the senior center instead of laptops. Does anyone know about Chromebooks? So they operate on the Google system. What's nice about them is that they're very inexpensive. I'm talking, I have one at home that was $150 versus a full laptop computer, which supports hundreds or thousands potentially. What's nice about them is that you don't have to download a bunch of software on them. So when you get a computer or a laptop, if you want Microsoft Word or Office, you're going to have to purchase that, put that on your computer. The Chromebook runs completely on Google and it's provided for free. So your total cost for everything for that Chromebook is whatever you're paying for the computer, which again is $150 to $250. So just something to consider. And not that, tablets, computers do other things than a Chromebook. They're more powerful, but for our everyday lives, unless you are a graphic designer or something, there's no sense in spending all of that money on a computer. So I want to talk about some different options for smartphones outside of your normal, iPhone or Android phone. There are two in particular that are geared towards older adults. The first is the Jitterbug Smart 4, and it is this one right here. It looks like a regular smartphone, but it has a larger screen, louder speakers, the battery lasts longer, you can do voice typing and video chat, and it does call captioning and has an urgent response button. So for older adults who might struggle with a regular smartphone, this is sort of an elevated version that could be easier for you to use. It's about $100 for the phone, which compared to an Apple phone is really, really good. And then of course you do have to have a monthly plan the same way that you would with any other kind of cell phone. So that's one option. And then the other is the RAS Mobility Memory Cell Phone. So this is specifically for people with memory loss. They have a mode for people with hand tremors, which I've never seen on any other device. It uses photos versus names to call someone. So it looks like this on the screen. So you don't have to remember the person's name. If you see their photo and that's who you want to reach out to, you just press their photo. It has 2 large buttons. You can either answer or hang up, and that is it. There's nothing else they can really do on it. So if you're worried about security and safety, this will be a really good option because no one can get into trouble on this phone. It is a little bit more expensive. It's about $350 plus a monthly plan. Keeping in mind that $350 for a cell phone is still a really good price compared to, the higher end Apple or Android phones. Then we have tablet options. So I showed you the Android tablet and the iPad, but there's actually a version for older adults that I think would be fantastic for families. It's called the Grand Pad. It looks like this. You can hold it in your hand, so it's much bigger than a phone. From what I can tell, it is bigger than this Android tablet, but not quite as big as the iPad. So it's something in the middle. It has large buttons. It's a no-frills design. It has a help button, and what I really love is that they have a member experience team that it connects you with at the press of a button that only works with older adults. So they're able to really talk you through in a way that makes sense whatever need you have with that. It is about $65 to $95 per month, according to the website. I've never seen one of these in person before. Yes?
Because I don't understand what you would use it for. I mean, it's phone versus tablet.
So they can do a lot of the same things. Look at it this way. If you are someone that reads or watches movies on your phone, this is going to be much more comfortable. You can still make phone calls from the tablet as long as you're connected to Wi-Fi or have that kind of plan. So they are kind of interchangeable for somebody.
Right, but in terms of this Grand Pad, okay.
It would so that would be something that would replace potentially having a phone. It could, but really it's for interacting. So connecting on social media, doing face-to-face calls, looking up hobbies, doing puzzles, all of those things you could do on the tablet. And it just has the added sort of safety feature that is controlled by a caregiver, and it is not so complicated to use.
Because I was gonna say, it's $65 to $95 a month. You're buying a tablet many times over.
Right, but it has that member experience button where there's someone to help you set up or answer questions or troubleshoot. So once you have your device that you want to use, whether that is a tablet or a phone or a Chromebook or a laptop or whatever it is you're using, something to think about when you're talking about connecting is doing face-to-face real-time connection. So this would be different than sending an email or a text message because you are actually doing a video chat, seeing the person and they're seeing you. And this, of course, became even more popular during COVID. We still use it a lot. Zoom is a free version for an hour at a time. And what's nice about it is that it can be downloaded on your computer or phone. And you can actually send a meeting link to someone and have them join. Versus FaceTime, this is only available for iPhones. I'm not sure if Android phones have some sort of face-to-face calling. I'm not an Android user. I can't even talk about it. But they do. So it's the same kind of thing where you can, instead of doing a regular call, you're actually seeing the person face-to-face. It's a great way to stay connected to loved ones who maybe you're not in the house with. I know, for example, I have a 1.5-year-old at home. I FaceTime with him constantly during the day. It's just a way for me to say hi, he can see me, and it's really nice to have that kind of connection.
Gonna just add that the Android version is WhatsApp.
Is WhatsApp, okay. And actually, you can use that on other devices.
Right.
Yes. So other things, ways you can stay connected is that you can order groceries online. Either you can order for your loved one or they can do so themselves. So I've got 2 services to tell you about. The first is Instacart. So has anyone used Instacart before? It's pretty easy. You go online, you pick what you want, and then someone delivers it. And you can schedule the delivery. You can pick out what groceries you want for your loved one. They have a specialized line for older adults. And so that's the number there for that. There is a fee, of course, depending on the time of day, what you're ordering, and it's kind of complicated to tell you what the fee would be. It depends on the weight of what you're getting. So, I can't give you much detail about that, but you can call and get more information if you're interested. And then Walmart Plus is about $13 per month for free delivery within hours of groceries or other items. So this is also a good, more inexpensive option probably if you're willing to invest that $13 a month. And we use that in the senior center, and it's really wonderful because we're having things delivered like tons of water at one time. Who wants to go to the store and try to bring that in? Then there's vision assistance that you can also get through your cell phone. So I've got two different options here. And this, of course, is with your smartphone. There are built-in options. You've got VoiceOver, that's a screen reader if you're an Apple user, as well as Siri, that's voice recognition. And then if you're an Android user, there's TalkBack and Google Assistant. So if you have a loved one that has low vision or you have low vision, this could be a really good option of helping them read their text messages, for example, or to find out quickly what time it is. Things like that might be more difficult with lower vision. And then social media. There are a lot of feelings about social media. I will say that for most of the seniors I see downstairs, Facebook is the option that people kind of gravitate towards. It does have more older adult users than other social media types. And we actually live stream some of our classes downstairs to our Facebook page. And that was actually set up by Shelby many years ago. So thank you, Shelby. But I talk about Facebook because it is the most popular platform for adults. People can connect with friends, family, former classmates, and you can actually have controls on it so that you can limit what people can comment on and post. So if you're worried about that sort of security aspect, that can help. There are, of course, downsides. You don't want your loved one oversharing. You don't want them being a victim of a scam or ad. And keep in mind that on Facebook, on any social media, and a lot of websites, they're tracking what you're looking at to send you targeted ads. So if your loved one is sensitive to that, if they're sensitive to, seeing a certain type of information show up randomly, that might not be the best for them. But social media can be a great tool to connect, especially with younger family members. We've had a story downstairs in the senior center of high school sweethearts finding each other again after 30 years on Facebook, and they're together now. So it can be a really good way of staying connected. And then there are learning opportunities and making new friends, and here are some options for that. So these are all different available either websites or tools that you could use. The first is Well Connected. This is a phone-based community. So if your loved one is someone that is okay with a phone, but maybe is not so comfortable with using a tablet or computer, this would be a good fit for them. So the idea is that you have different community groups on different topics. So if you are a gardener and you love gardening, you want to talk about that, you can join the gardening group. They have, it was like 200 different topics when I looked. It's free and accessible via landline phone, your smartphone, computer, tablet, anything. And it's available for anyone 60 plus, and it's free. Another one that's a good option, it's called Virtual Senior Center. This is an online community. It provides live classes. You can also go back and watch the classes. There is a fee. It's $100 per year, which seems a little steep, except when you break that down over the entire year for what you're getting, it's really a good price. There's a lot of health and exercise classes that are being live streamed. There's educational discussions. So if your loved one is someone that might not be a good fit for the senior center, or they are someone that does not want to give it a try, because we hear that a lot, this could be a good fit from home for them to still stay connected and meet new friends. Facebook, like I said, is another one. We live stream 2 classes a week. Every Monday and Friday at 9:15, we live stream our lowest impact group fitness classes. And then during the month, other things as well. We have a gardening workshop, different educational presentations. Those are also going to show up on Facebook. YouTube as well has tons of videos. So if your loved one is someone that does have a specific hobby or enjoys learning about different topics, YouTube's a really good fit for that. And then virtual reality headsets. Has anyone used these before or seen these? So we own, I think, 6 of them downstairs. And you can see they're kind of clunky looking, but once you put it on, you have handles. And we teach people how to use them to do things like ride roller coasters from sitting down or exploring new locations. We had someone who went swimming with sharks. We've had people do haunted houses. This is a great way of staying connected and having your loved ones still have an interest in a hobby, without leaving home. Now, you can purchase these and you can have apps put on them just like you can your phone or your tablet. And they have apps specifically for people with memory loss and other conditions. There are workouts that you can do through them. But if you're ever interested in trying one out, we do make time available every week to show people how to use these. Once you get used to it, it's not too complicated. It does take a little bit of getting used to. So we do that by appointment because we do have to charge them and all of that. So if you're ever interested in that, our phone number is on the is on this. So give us a call. We'll show you how to use them. They're really fun though. If anyone wants to touch it or like see how heavy it is, and we've actually had a lot of people come in recently who had mobility issues who choose to use those because it is something that you can do seated.
Okay.
And of course, they are a bit expensive. They're $700 to $1,000 per headset if you purchase it. But again, you can come into the senior center and use them. So the big question is, I've told you about all this different technology, all of this fun stuff that you can play with your loved ones, but where are you going to learn how to do that? That's really the big question for a lot of people, and it's actually the front page of our newsletter that has not gone out yet, but that you have. So if you open it up and look at it on the front page, we talk a little bit about the resources I'm going to give you now. So the first one is that we actually do technology classes downstairs in the senior center. So these are small classes of 10 people or less at a time. We have a fantastic instructor who works with the group on a variety of different topics. So we just wrapped up our How to Use Your iPhone series, How to Use Your Android phone series. We're in the middle of a Google Chrome series. We've done classes on hacking or accessing Amazon, online banking, all kinds of things. They are grant funded, meaning that we don't have them all year, unfortunately. So we're about to wrap up our classes, and then we have to wait for more funding to have them again. So we don't have them all the time, but we do have them every single year. And then we also offer one-on-one appointments. So our staff cannot sit down and show you how to use your whole phone. That's just not going to happen. But if you have a specific question or need about your phone or tablet, we are happy to make that appointment and sit down with you and try to troubleshoot whatever's going on. Recently, we've had people who wanted to learn how to send a picture, something like that. We are happy to sit down and do with you by appointment. Then the Greenville Public Library, no one ever knows this, but they offer technology classes as well for free. And they have trained librarians who can help you one-on-one. So if you're someone that does not want to go into a classroom environment, this is a really good fix. And so they do a lot of what we do, but they do it year round. So if you're, the off season for us, this is where we send people. And then the last place is ShepNet. They are a computer center with Shepherd Center, and they offer computer classes on a huge variety of things in very small groups of 6 people. They're volunteer based, and they do charge a fee for those classes. That's a little different than us because they have a fee, but they're offered year round. So you can sign up for the classes online, you can do everything online with them. So I have that for you in case that's an option that interests you. So there are lots of opportunities to learn out there. And then very briefly, want to talk about helpful text for those with memory loss. So there are specific things out there that you might not know about. So SingFit Studio Caregiver is a therapeutic music app. And it's about $12 per month, and it's specifically for those with Alzheimer's. And the whole point of it is something that is going to bring happiness and joy and positive memories to your loved one. Then don't forget, it's very simple to go on Amazon and to get clocks that speak reminders. That's good for anyone, regardless of any sort of memory loss condition. You know, a reminder, take your meds or walk the dog or whatever it is. Those reminders are really helpful. I know I put them on my phone. The Dementia Alliance of North Carolina has a music and memory at home program. They provide you with a digital music player and with this entire program to bring music to your loved one with dementia. And then my favorite one to talk about is this. This is the Simple Music Player. Has anyone seen one of these before? Someone donated this to us downstairs. It is specifically for people with memory loss, and it is a radio that you load music onto. So there is a little bit of background work that you as the caregiver have to do, but you load the music, and then all your loved one has to do to play the music is to lift it. If they don't like the song, there's one button, and that's it. It is perfect for people who might struggle with a radio or other sort of technology. And we use it a lot in the senior center because that's a really real fact that people get frustrated very easily and decide that technology is not for them because it is frustrating. But there are options out there, things that are more simple. So a bit about eliminating frustration. I was reading about this on AARP. These are some of the things that you should look for to see if you or your loved one is starting to get too frustrated and maybe the technology that you're using is either not working or you need to switch it up. Does the adult have vision issues or problems with coordination? That's going to make it more difficult for them. Are they having trouble understanding language or do they have memory issues? Is it hard for them to follow the steps needed to complete a transaction? These are things that are going to make technology stressful, and that you might need to start considering some of those other means, such as the simple radio or one of the specific tablets for people with memory loss. AARP suggests no more than 10 apps for someone who's frustrated with their phone or tablet. So it's okay to remove apps. There's not a lot that someone needs if they're just using their phone or tablet for enjoyment. That's what I have. Are there any questions? Anything I can tell you more about?
Did you mention the price on the simple radio?
I don't think I did. They have them on Amazon. They are under $200, and you probably could get one used pretty easily. Yeah. This one was donated after someone lost their father, and you know, what are you going to do with it? So, yes.
I have a question about the virtual headset. Do you have to download programs on certain subjects, or they have it? How does that operate as far as your interest? Because you have so many different topics.
Yes. So it comes with some apps preloaded. So there are certain things that you can always do on it. So like on ours, you can always do like a workout class on it. You can always do like a travel log where you're exploring other cities. But if there was a special interest or hobby that you had, you would want to download that. And the apps themselves can cost money. Some of them are free. Some, just like an app on your phone, could be a few dollars. So I've seen some $25 if it's a really fancy kind of app. But yeah, if you have a really specific interest, then probably what you're going to want to do is learn how to use it in the senior center and then decide if you want to buy it on your own and have apps that way. Because if you put an app on here, well, it belongs to us. You don't want to do that because you need to take it home with you. So,
Right. I'm just wondering how you would do it if you have your own. So you have to either purchase the app or you can download the app.
So when you have the headset on, it gives you access to an app store.
Okay.
You can also, those come with an app that you download on your phone as well to help control it. You can access an app store that way as well.
Okay.
Anything else? Okay, thank you so much.
Wasn't that some wonderful resources from Julie? And I encourage you, if anyone is in this area, to please visit the Evergreens Lifestyle Senior Center. They have so many programs. It's so much fun. And it's right downstairs here at Senior Resources. So we have the privilege of having two awesome speakers today. So I really want to take briefly just a minute to introduce our second speaker. And this is Mr. Bruce McReynolds, and he's a compassionate leader in the field of elder care and the owner of Griswold Home Care. For over 27 years, Bruce has called Greensboro, North Carolina his home, where he and his family have dedicated themselves to serving the community. As the owner of Griswold Home Care, Bruce oversees 2 thriving offices providing vital non-medical home care services to seniors in Greensboro and Burlington. Griswold Home Care of Greensboro and Burlington has been serving the community for 12 years. Bruce's commitment to enabling older adults to age in place independently shines through in a wide range of services his agency offers, from personal care assistance to companionship, respite care, and much, much more. Driven by a deeply rooted mission, Bruce has dedicated his career to supporting older adults facing physical or cognitive challenges, as well as their families who shoulder the responsibility of caregiving. His involvement doesn't stop at the doors of Griswold Home Care. Bruce is actively engaged in the community, serving on the board for the Triad Retirement Living Association. In addition to his board's responsibilities, Bruce co-coordinates the Adult Children of Aging Parents ACAP group, which is this, providing a vital lifeline of education and support to those navigating the complex journey of caring for elderly loved ones. Bruce's personal connection to the topic of elder care runs deep, as he is blessed to have both of his parents, now 85 years old, living just around the corner in Greensboro after relocating from Indiana. This intimate connection fuels Bruce's passion for his work, and underscores his unwavering commitment to enhancing the lives of seniors and their family. So let's give a warm welcome for Mr. Bruce McReynolds.
Thank you, Shelby. And that concludes my 30-minute segment. Brett, any idea? All right, well, good afternoon. It's great to be here. Great lesson in technology, right? So, my goal with us for the next few minutes is just to really talk about how we can utilize technology to keep our loved ones or our parents safe at home. And certainly, there is some current and some cutting edge technology that's available to us to support safety in the home. And, as Shelby mentioned, my caregiving journey with my parents has really provided a lot of opportunities to provide safety in the home. Whether it's my mother with sciatica who has difficulty with moving sometimes, or whether it's my father who has polymyositis, and so he has some muscle degeneration and causing lower body weakness and history of falls. It's actually been kind of exciting to identify technology that has been able to help them continue to live an active and independent journey. So there's really been some very significant advancements in technology, whether it's with biomedical devices, home automation, computers, as Julie shared with us, tablets, smartphones, assistive technology has really made it more accessible to live independently at home. And it's definitely made it more user-friendly, although our current situation may not indicate that. So these emerging technologies are really designed for the older population. So, knowing that the demographics of our population is shifting to an older group, as this technology has been developed, it's really done so with an older population in mind. And this has really resulted in an increased adoption of technology. We see more and more folks as they age be more open to newer technologies. These technologies have helped older adults to stay safe and engaged with their families. And I think, as Julie has pointed out earlier, this engagement and addressing social isolation and has really made some really big inroads due to technology. So I'm sure you have all heard some of the statistics before about how our population is aging. But the global population age 60 and older is expected to double in the next 30 years, reaching almost 2 billion folks that are over the age of 60. In the US, the number of our population 65 and older is expected to reach 98 million people. So in just a few years, 1 out of every 5 individuals will be age 65 and older. There's an increased risk of falls. So 1 out of 4 older adults will fall each year, leading to serious injuries like hip fractures, head trauma. And these falls can really significantly impact an older adult's ability to live independently. The prevalence of chronic conditions is significant. About 85% of older adults have at least one chronic health condition. 85% has at least one chronic condition, with over 60% of older adults having at least 2 chronic conditions. This could include heart disease, diabetes, arthritis, hypertension. And so, that all really shapes the need and the opportunity to use technology to help address the needs of older adults as we age. So health and safety challenges faced by older adults can really significantly impact their quality of life. Their increased reliance on caregivers, and really take an emotional toll. So there's several studies that have been conducted in terms of what the safety risks are in our homes. And so a compilation of those surveys and assessments really point to some common health risks in the home. Who can guess what one of the most significant health risks at home is? Falling, exactly right. So falls are the most common and most significant risk for seniors to live at home. Older adults are at higher risk of falls, which can lead to serious injuries, again, such as hip fractures, head trauma, and the loss of independence. It's really remarkable to see the statistics of the life expectancy of an older individual after a fall. For individuals 80 years and older, life expectancy after a fall is 28% after 1 year, or 47% after 2 years. So a fall can certainly have a very dramatic impact on our overall well-being. Medication errors pose another risk. Incorrect medication management, including proper dosing or missed doses, can have severe consequences for older adults, especially those with multiple chronic conditions. Many of the medications today are taken to offset the side effects of other medications. So when those medications when you miss those or misdose those, then they can have interplay with several health conditions. Slips and trips pose a significant hazard, right? So kind of combined with falls there. Uneven flooring, loose carpets, cluttered walkways, all pose a significant tripping risk for older adults, potentially leading to falls. Inadequate lighting. So poor lighting at home can make it difficult for older adults to navigate safely, increasing the risk of falls. Fire hazards. So our decreased mobility, our decreased sensory abilities or impairment, cognitive decline, all of these increase the risk that older adults have to effectively be able to handle emergency situations such as a fire. Cognitive and physical decline increase the risk of accidents as there's greater limitations to performing activities of daily living. Who can tell me what the most dangerous room of the house is? The bathroom, that's right. Yeah. Okay. So bathrooms are really particularly hazardous due to the wet floors, slippery surfaces, lack of grab bars, but also due to the difficult accessing emergencies. So if you're in the bathroom and you fall, it's quite possible you may not have your phone with you or have something that you can call for help. So I wanted to address some of the technology that exists to help address those risks. And I will be moving fairly quickly. There's a lot of technology out there. We won't be identifying each manufacturer or type, but maybe speaking in more general categories. So technologies that will prevent falls. There are fall detection and alert systems out there. Apple Watch is a great one. That's probably one of the most common ones, right? Our phones can let us know or let someone else know if we've fallen. There's also one there by Philips Lifeline that detects falls automatically and notifies emergency contacts. There's smart home devices by Amazon Echo and Alexa, Google Nest Hub. All of these can kind of hook up our home to identify falls and navigate some of the challenges in the home. There's non-slip flooring. A couple manufacturers, Slip Doctors and 3M Safety Walk, all can provide tapes and treads to increase traction in the floors and stairs. There's smart lighting. A couple manufacturers are Philips Hue and LIFX smart lights, which illuminate pathways and can be controlled via apps. Of course, we all know about the grab bars and the handrails, but there's also some newer options of these that provide grab bars or rails at the bedside. They mount from the floor to the ceiling, so you can put these rails pretty much anywhere in your home. And there's wearable devices. So Fitbit, Charge, Tungstol, fall detector, monitor activity, detect falls, and they alert caregivers. One of the simple technologies that I use, technology doesn't have to be expensive, but just a simple motion activated nightlight is something that we use in my home and in my parents' home to illuminate pathways based on motion. So if they get up out of bed, the light turns on. And so those are $10 on Amazon. So a lot of these options don't have to be expensive. There's technology out there that will help us with mobility. How many of you have parents or family members that have difficulty getting around? Okay. As we age, our joints aren't our friends anymore. So stair lifts, fairly older technology that's out there, but they provide access going upstairs. It's a motorized chair that hooks to the stairs and gets you up and down as needed. Of course, we know about mobility scooters, and power wheelchairs. We know about the lift chairs, the recliners, walkers and rollators. But there are some aids that are out there, or some technology that's out there to help us with transfers, getting from a chair to a bed to a chair, or from one surface to another. One's called a Beasley board. It's a transfer board that has a disc and it slides from one end of the board to the other. So this might help an individual going from a bed to a wheelchair, for example. There's a Sarah Steady piece of equipment. So some folks might know this is a sit to stand, but it helps individuals get from a sitting position to a semi-standing position, and then the device can be rolled around from one room to another. There's ceiling lifts that actually are mounted to the ceiling and help folks with getting, raising them up out of bed and moving them over and sitting them into another wheelchair and so forth. Or just helping them reposition in bed. Automated door openers. There's smart floor sensors that helps track movement or identify falls. There's even wearable exoskeletons. So these are basically apparatus that would, kind of as it sounds, prove as an extra support structure to your body, so that if you weren't able to use your legs well or stay upright well, the exoskeleton would kind of help support you while you're walking about. So there's technology that helps with medication administration. So we noted that medications were one of the high risk factors. Smart pill dispensers. So dispensers that will automatically let the individual know when it's time to take it. They'll unlock one of the compartments. They might also send an alarm or sound an alarm, letting someone know to take the medication out. Many of these options also might send a text message to a family member if the medication hadn't been removed at the time that it was to be taken. Medication app or reminder apps. So some of these are on our phone. or watches, but they send reminders, they track adherence, and they share progress to caregivers. Voice-activated reminders. Julie mentioned to us that we can use some of our smart devices to notify us or remind us of things. So Amazon Echo, Alexa, Google, all can be programmed to remind us to do activities or, in this case, to take medications. But again, technology doesn't have to be expensive. One of the remedies that my parents use, or my father uses, is just simply having medications pre-dispensed from the pharmacy in more of a pill pack type system. So we have a 90-day supply of medications. The medications comes pre-packed in a packet. So there's a breakfast, a lunch, a dinner, a bedtime packet. Tells you what's inside and what time and what date to take it. So it's simply a matter of pulling off the next packet, confirming that it's the right date and time, and taking it, and then your next dose is already set up for you. So again, no cost to the individual. This would be the same as getting it from your local pharmacy. It just comes pre-packaged in a convenient way. I love to use this when I walk into my parents' home. One of the first things I do is check the box to see if we're up to date. There's technology that will address inadequate lighting. So smart lighting systems allow for remote control, scheduling of the lighting. So from your app or your phone, you can schedule when you want your parents' lights to come on or go off. Set a schedule that way. So you can customize the timing of that lighting. Motion detected lighting. This is a great option. As I mentioned, you don't have to worry about when lights come on or go off. They're just motion activated, and so you always have light on when it's needed. There's voice activated lighting. Reminds me of the clap on, clap off. How long ago was that? But really, for folks that may have limited use of their mobility or their hands to be able to navigate a light switch, just being able to give voice commands. A lot of this can be through a device on the outlet as well as on the device itself. As I mentioned, smart plugs and smart outlets are certainly an option. Daylight simulation lamps. So, for individuals that may have sundowning or maybe have some depression, during the winter months or off seasons and so forth, this light simulation might be a good option. It mimics the natural sunlight to improve visibility and mood. Of course, night lights, as we've talked about, to illuminate pathways. Think about under-counter lighting. So for folks with poor vision, just having that lighting on the countertops under counter can be a great option. So telehealth and remote care is another very new and useful technology. So one of the things during the pandemic was we had a lot of virtual doctor visits, right? And those have kind of hung around. I think they're kind of useful at times. So patients can consult with healthcare providers through secure video conferencing, allowing for remote care and convenience. Also, teleassistance. Think of teledoc, if you will. So it's being able to get primary care visits during an illness and so forth from your own home by having teleassistance. Chronic disease management. So for individuals, for example, that might have diabetes and perhaps have those sugar levels monitored by their physician or perhaps have heart issues, where the physician is tracking that heart functions remotely, and they're able to manage the situation based on wearable sensors that the adult may have. So all of these can help us manage our health kind of in a remote way. There are some great wearable health monitors. Apple Watch kind of is an example of that. Fitbit. They monitor vital signs, let us know our heart rate, our EKG, blood levels or blood oxygen levels, and include fall detection and emergency features. We talked about the remote health monitoring systems. There's some great ones out there: HealthMate, AliveCore, CardioMobile. Provides connected devices like blood pressure monitors, smart scales, and allows users to share health information with your provider. Continuous glucose and diabetes is certainly a significant issue for many adults, and so being able to to know what your glucose reading is throughout the day through a Dexcom or a Freestyle Libre is a couple examples of technology that gives us real-time glucose readings and trend analysis to help manage conditions like diabetes. So Shelby mentioned that I work with Griswold Home Care, and we're excited to offer our clients some new technology that has really been a game changer in the lives of many of our clients. We call it 24/7 virtual care, and it's powered by artificial intelligence. We partnered with Sensi AI, a leading provider of artificial intelligence technology in the home care world, to provide a comprehensive approach to caring for older adults. Through this technology, Sensi AI, it gathers data on care-related activities in the home through auditory only. There's no cameras, there's no recordings, but monitoring, ensuring that data privacy and compliance is HIPAA compliant. This system is designed to detect patterns of activity out of the norm that may impact care of older adults, enabling early intervention to resolve issues before they become more serious. This is well suited for adults who may be living with dementia, declining cognitive and physical health, be at risk of falling, or may have a limited local family support, or who may be reluctant to seek help for problems. So the goal of Sensi AI technology is to gather data around the clock, identifying care-related events that enable early intervention to prevent more serious health concerns.
Can you spell the name of that vendor for me?
Sure. So we offer it through Griswold Home Care, but it's powered by Sensi, S-E-N-S-I.
Okay.
Sensi AI. So simply put, this is kind of the technology that would go into the home. It would be 3 pods. One would go into a client's bedroom, one in a bathroom, and one in a living space or living area. These pods would pick up on care-related sounds, such as a fall, such as a cry for help, sounds of pain, difficulty with transfers or movement.
How do pets interfere or not interfere?
Pets do not interfere at all. Other voices or other sounds in the home really wouldn't. If we had one experience where a cat had knocked over a bookcase, the bookcase went crashing,
Mhm.
and so that did indicate a fall.
Okay.
Right,
But like a dog barking
no.
wouldn't
Not at all.
necessarily.
So, but this also, because it's powered by artificial intelligence, it's also been learned to understand what other care-related needs are. So for example, a combination of sounds might indicate a potential urinary tract infection. An increased frequency of toileting, sounds of pain or burning when toileting, indications of, a fever or feeling warm. In fact, urinary tract infections is probably one of our more common alerts, and in almost all cases, it's proven to actually be a urinary tract infection.
I don't mean to interrupt you, I'm sorry. I know with my mom who does get UTIs, it's the symptoms are more cognitive than frequency or burning.
Yep.
Frequency or burning in older females especially is not one of the leading symptoms.
Yes,
I don't know how
so
you would measure cognitive
yeah,
changes.
folks present UTIs in all different ways, but our system does pick up on increased cognitive decline or confusion or low mood. So it's again listening for indicator sounds that indicate poor mood or decline of more confusion, that type of thing. So it's combining multiple types of indicators and understanding that could be a particular health concern. It's able to identify potential pneumonia. This could be with increased coughing more than normal, as an example. So for indicators that would be an urgent issue, for example, a fall or a cry for help, our office team receives an immediate response. So we're able to reach out and intervene, either with calling a family member or calling maybe someone else in the home. For less urgent needs, such as potential urinary tract infection or increased confusion, sounds of pain, which might indicate possible difficulty with movement or transfer, we get insights that we're able to talk with the family member about and help remedy those situations so that they don't become more severe. In the last 4 months where we've had this installed with our clients, we've had 732 alerts of some type of physical issue. We've had 661 reports of pain, 419 reports of missed medications, 350 fall risk alerts. But also it indicates other concerns such as that might involve urinary, sleep issues, cognitive, skin integrity, gastrointestinal, concerns of care concern, mood changes, and so forth.
How's it picking up on like the missed medications? How does that work?
Yeah, so it could be some verbal expression of, oh, I forgot to take those this morning, or where are my medications? Those types of things. It might be a conversation. While we're not recording the conversation, we pick up the words in that conversation. It might help give a tip to this medication.
So is there someone on the other end that monitors this? I mean, as these cues or whatever are being heard, is there someone that's sitting in the office that comes?
Yeah, so these sounds go to a HIPAA-compliant cloud-based platform that uses to pick up that word and analyze it to be a care-related number. We've had 45 falls that we've identified where the client actually fell, and we've been able to intercede. 17 calls for help, 16 calls that have resulted in a call to EMS. So, through the system, we're able to detect falls, physical distress, calls for help, infection, medication errors, potential UTIs, potential pneumonia. We offer this free of charge to all of our clients as a way to enhance the overall care provided to them by fine-tuning our care plans so that we can address specific challenges that might be present in the home, as well as to intercede before something becomes more serious. So just in closing, I just wanted to say that that's a lot of information, right? There's a lot of technology that's out there. And so where do you start? You know, how do we take all of this technology and kind of bring it down to practical terms for use in the home? Well, we have to start by understanding our parents' specific needs and challenges. Consider their mobility, their cognitive abilities, their daily living activities. What are their challenges? So kind of start by doing a big picture analysis of, you know, what's going on in the home and what are their needs. Research these technologies. So I would be happy to share with you any of the specific vendors or technology that, you know, that we have found or that we have information available to us. So feel free to give me a call and I can point you in that direction. But you can also use, you know, Google and search it and begin to research those technologies that are available. Involve your parents, right? Remember, their goal is independence. And so involving them in the process of talking about this technology and how it can help them remain independent, how it can help them remain at home is certainly possible so that you have their adoption, right? I bought a fall vest for my father, and it was state of the art. You know, if he fell, it was going to, you know, like the airbags in a car, it would deploy and protect his head, protect his hips, protect his back. And so he didn't use it, I guess, for the short story. As evidence to a doctor's or hospital visit last week. So early getting their buy-in, getting their agreement is certainly key in this whole technology piece. You want to consider the ease of use, right? If it's going to be difficult, if it's complicated, they're probably not going to use it. So unfortunately, much of our technology today is addressing that ease of use issue. And finally, just seek professional guidance. So talk with your physical therapist or occupational therapist, your geriatric care manager. If you use professional services in some way, whether it's your doctor or others, kind of consult them and see what they know about technology that would address your specific issue. So, finally, I would just say, don't be afraid of technology. It really is our friend. And sometimes we'll think about it's going to be costly. But really, there's so much free or inexpensive remedies out there today. Our community has several resources that could help us with some of this durable medical equipment. The state has a great resource that helps recycle equipment that is no longer needed. The North Carolina Assistive Technology Department sends out a newsletter at least once a month showing all sorts of equipment that's available to folks that's no longer needed. Community Housing Solutions helps us with home accessibility types issues. There's services like Staying Home Safely that could help us with home modifications, whether it's just as simple as putting grab bars up or expanding doorways, things of that nature. North Carolina Baptist Aging Ministry installs grab bars and they build ramps for free of charge. The Dancing Goat, it's a local resource here, offers free durable medical equipment that is taken in from folks that no longer need it.
Is it the North Carolina Baptist?
North Carolina Baptist Ministry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, Mars.
So, but there's also inexpensive options, whether it's a nightlight for $10 that's motion activated, or whether it's redispensing medications from your pharmacy. So, take the time to kind of do the research and find out some of these organizations or ways to get technology into the home. And certainly I'd be more than happy to be a resource for you as well. So, with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Shelby. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you.
Well, we hope everyone learned a bunch of new resources that are available in our community, and we hope that you will share this or maybe take this back to loved ones and maybe utilize this. Again, there's a lot of great resources right here in our community. I'm sitting over there and I learned so much today too about products and just, just resources that you can use. Don't forget about our next meeting, which is July 18th. We'd love to have you here. And we want to give a huge shout out to Bruce McReynolds and Griswold Home Care for sponsoring today. So thank you, Bruce. And y'all have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.